Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on my latest video. It's your old mate Beetle Dave, the record collector. Now today I'm going to show you some of my finds from the past couple of months that have not been featured in any video. There is some Beatle stuff, there's some T-Rex, there's some Queen and all sorts, so I'll try and make it as quick as I can. So whatever you're doing, I hope you're all well and dandy. Now to start off with, I'm going to show you a couple of singles and then it's all going to be LPs. So the first single is, this was quite a good find actually, this was from my local record shop in Derby. And it's Paul McCartney, Spies Like Us, but it's for promotional use only. Single. Promotional use only, look. And then there's a sticker that says Derek Walton, Woodshire Farm, something Lane, Cheshire. And then on the B side of that is My Carnival, again for promotional use only. So although it hasn't got a picture sleeve, I mean I've got plenty of Spies Like Us singles in my box set, which is over there. So I could always put that into a picture sleeve, and that was £10. £10 for Paul McCartney promo, which I didn't think was that bad. I mean, how much are singles nowadays? If you went into a shop and you buy a single, how much would you be paying? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Then there's a couple of Adam Ant ones. Try and get these in order, or Adam and the Ants, should I say. The first one is Deutsche Girls, which was released after Adam had a couple of hits. Originally, this was released in 1978, I think it was, and then it got into the charts in 1981 from a very, very obscure film called Jubilee. I'm not going to go into much detail with this one because I'm going to do a feature on this, the album and the DVD. The B-side is Plastic Surgery, fantastic early Adam and the Ants song. Again, picture sleeve. That was £2.50 from a place in the New Market Hall in Derby. And it's the same chap that used to run the record shop in Belper. So if you were listening, Gab Axman Spins is upstairs in the Derby Market Hall. Now it's just him. He's got his records and a few antiques. The next one was Adam and the Ants, Car Trouble, again in a picture sleeve. I think this was £3, so you get Car Trouble, which is basically a re-recording of the version that was on Dirt Wears White Socks. This features Marco and the drummer out of Culture Club, if I remember rightly, whose name, John Moss, was it? Yeah. And then a reworking of Kick, and it is on the Do It label. And then the singles, the last one I got again was from the same chap at Derby Market Hall, Adam and the Ants, Prince Charming. I don't think this was one of Adam and the Ants' greatest singles, to be honest. I think this is where I started to lose a little bit of interest in the band, to be honest. But they split up, didn't they, not long after this? But I do like this song, but I don't think it's as good as the songs that have come before, if that makes sense. Again, £3. I'm sorry if I'm putting my head down a bit, but I've I've done it a bit strange. So my records are on here, but I've got nowhere to actually put them. Then there's this one. Again, I'm not going to show you this in much detail because I am hoping to do a video on this. This is the Beatles Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but it is a bootleg and it's not what it seems. So stay tuned for a future video on that. Then there's this one. This is the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, and it's a newly remastered version in mono. Let me check this out the sleeve. Now I'm not sure what this sounds like. I mean, I've had this for over a month now and I still haven't had time to play it. I will probably play it after I've made this video. But saying that, when I was in BPM where I got this from, and it was all of £25 for a brand new LP, which is about the going rate, isn't it? Anthony, who was behind the counter, he actually streamed the songs that are on this for me to listen to, and they were the mono versions. So yeah, I'm extremely happy to have this in my collection now. After many years, an original copy of this, it cost you basically an arm and a leg. Then also from, this was an eBay purchase, and I got this after seeing my old mate PC31, Mike PC31, the Vinyl Policeman. He showed a copy of this, and again, I did know about this album because there's a lot of involvement with the Small Faces, isn't there, playing on some of the tracks, and Steve Marriott and Ronnie Lane wrote a few of the songs as well. Original copies of this are like rocking horse teeth, to be honest. I didn't pay a lot for this. I think it was around the £20 mark, and it is on the Immediate record label. And that's the track listing there. I've played it, and it does actually sound really good. Would You Believe, which was supposedly going to be the hit, was released as a single, and you can still get that, which is more sort of like poppy. The rest of it is basically a psychedelic acid trip sort of album. What would you call it? Folky hippie sort of thing. Really nice to listen to though. Then there's this one. Now, a few months ago, when Brian Wilson died, I wanted to do a tribute, but I didn't want to show a Beach Boys greatest hits, so I was looking for my Beach Boys Pet Sounds. Now, could I find it? No, I couldn't. I've looked all over. I've got a feeling I gave it away to a charity shop, to be honest. It wasn't in immaculate condition anyway. So I looked on eBay again, and I found this one, and this is the mono version of it. It was supposedly near mint. £30 I think I paid for it. When I got this, it was packaged very nicely, and the postage came within about 3 or 4 days. Unfortunately, if the seller thought this was anywhere near mint, I don't know what land they were living in, probably La La Land. I've had to clean this 5 times with both my spin clean and my project vacuum clean record. So that's 5 times each on them. It had got marks all over it, got fingerprints all over it. I did get in contact with the seller, and the first thing was, he just says, "Oh, it must have happened in the post." And I says, "Well, how can you get fingerprints if it's in the post?" Then he did admit that he didn't really know anything about records. And I says, "Well, if I hadn't spent so much time cleaning it, I'd have sent it back and wanted a refund." Then he said he wasn't going to give me a refund. So then I did a thing through eBay, and he gave me a refund. He gave me a partial refund. I think he gave me about £15 back off it or something. So it wasn't that bad. It is playable now, to be honest. You do get the replica sleeve, and you get, this is the album. I will show you, but I don't know if these marks are going to. I mean, it looks, if I go like that, it does look really nice. Don't get me wrong. But there was marks, and it was horrible. It looked like somebody spilt tea and coffee on it on one of the sides. I can't remember which one it was. So I have cleaned it up the best I can. Now it is a playable copy now. Don't get me wrong, it is a playable copy. But if you're buying something off eBay and it's supposed to be mint, and you've got to spend 6 or 7 hours cleaning it, I should have just not bothered, to be honest. I should have just got in contact straight away and said, "Look, this is what it is. I want my money back." Doesn't matter. I mean, like I say, it is a nice playable mono copy, but even though I've cleaned it all those times, it still doesn't sound fantastic. It sounds okay, don't get me wrong, but you know. So when I went to BPM, I was talking to Anthony. I told him what had gone off, and he says, "Well, we've got a Pet Sounds album." He says, "But it's the stereo one." And I says, "Well, which one would you rather have?" He says, "Well, it's like Sergeant Pepper and Revolver, things like that. Pet Sounds, really, the best way to listen to it is in mono." So I was looking at it, says, "Dave, if you want it, 15 quid." And I still haven't unsealed this yet. So I don't know what it's like inside. It is a new one though, because it says made in Germany there. Where that once was something to do with the Capital Volts limited edition. That. So yeah, I'm pleased to have that, and for the money, I can't really grumble, can I? Excuse me, I've still got this dreaded man flu, but hopefully this is the end bit of it. Then we've got this one, which is Queen, the game. In the summer, I did go to the record fair at Chesterfield, and I managed to get Innuendo LP from Queen. I'm trying to fill a few of the holes in my Queen collection. I don't want everything, but there's a few of them that I do still want. Innuendo was one of them. The Miracle was other, and then there was this one, the game. Now this is very, very odd because it's like a foil effect cover, and no matter how I do it, you're not going to see it. Some classic Queen songs on this. You've got Play the Game, Dragon Attack, another one, Bites the Dust, Need Your Loving Tonight, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Rocket, Don't Try Suicide, Sail Away Sweet Sister, Coming Soon, and then Save Me. Save Me is a fantastic song. I hope you can see those. And it did come with the inner sleeve. Now this is where somebody off eBay made this out to be worse than what it was. He says it's hardly playable, covered with scratches, but the cover and the insert are okay. The record probably won't play. But it was only something like £7.50. So I thought, well, I'll take a punt on that. Again, I've cleaned it twice. Once in the spin clean and once on my project record clean and vacuum thing. And it sounds okay. This really does sound okay. So this was like one of the highlights, just show you what you can actually find on eBay if you're looking. Now, I'd rather pay £7 and clean a record than pay 20 or £30 for a record and have to clean it when the seller said that it was mint. So like I said, I think he actually undersold this, and it did come really, really well packaged. Like I said, I've played it. It sounds fantastic. And he gave me something else. He says, he gave me a freebie with this. I mean, in all fairness, the cover is not the best cover in the world, but I would say that the record is actually very good plus. So like I say, I played it and it's okay. But he also gave me this Queen, a Kind of Magic. So I take it this is the tour program. Be careful because there's a few bits and bobs in this. Let's bear with me just 1 second. So you've got an advert for the We Will Rock You live in concert. You've got Queen and Harp Lager. Harp stays sharp to the bottom of the glass. So I presume Harp were funding this tour. Then you've got a shot from A Kind of Magic. So it was nice of him to give me this, even though the album that I bought off him wasn't A Kind of Magic. And he didn't say it was good. It just came in opened the parcel. I thought, oh God. Yeah, some lovely photos and stuff in here. Don't know if it's worth anything or not, but it was a freebie. So that was nice. And then the final record that I'm going to show you is this one now. A few of you have actually commented, because sometimes I will leave a record like that in the background, and excuse me, and somebody did say, is that Tyrannosaurus Rex? Prophet, seers and sages, the angels of the ages. And it is. Again, this is a UK original first pressing. Again, the seller basically undersold this on the dreaded eBay, which is good in one way. He said, you know, he's found it in a box of records. He ain't got a record player. It looks scratched, so he doesn't know if it will play or not. 15 quid. All right, 15 quid. Now, that is a textured sleeve. Yeah, it is creased. Don't get me wrong, it is creased in places. That is the track listing. I won't go into the track listing. But to be fair, it did come with the original inner. And it is on the Regal Zonophone. I think it is. I think it's Regal Zonophone. This is the sleeve that it came in the sleeve. Now, it has got a lot of marks on it. Don't get me wrong, it has got a lot of marks on it. That label. Now, unfortunately, somebody has put the name on that side, but that doesn't really matter. It's not going to be the most valuable record in the world, is it? But so when this came, I thought I'm going to play it, and all I did, I gently wiped it with a soft microfiber cloth with a little bit of washing up liquid and water on it. Did it, left it a couple of hours to dry on both sides, played it, and it plays lovely. There is a little bit of background noise in it, you know, a little bit of crackling places. Doesn't jump, doesn't skip. If you'd have seen this in a shop, would you bought it? But I've since been told it's actually quite a rare record, this. And it usually goes for a lot more than £15. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with some of the things that I've found in the past few months. So this might be the last video before Christmas, depending on when you see this. Yeah, £15 for that. I thought that was one of the bargains of the past few months, to be honest. Like I say, this is sort of like very hippie trippy music. It's not like T-Rex, it's not like you get it ons and stuff like that. They are like still like a what would you call it? An instrumental duo. You had Mark Bolan basically on an acoustic guitar, another chap on bongos. Is that Steve Prestine Cook? I think his name was. You have got Deborah on there, or a version of Deborah, which is nothing like the single version, by the way. I've listened to this a few times, and yeah, it's lovely. This is really something very nice to have in the collection. Now, going forward in time, I might start to do a few more things on other artists. And I don't mean like doing series on other artists, because I've done like things on David Bowie and things like that, and the Rolling Stones. But I might just start doing every now and again, just doing a review on an album of somebody other than the Beatles. Now, what do you lot out there think about that? Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea? I mean, technically, I suppose I'm doing it now anyway, because I do show you things other than the Beatles. You know, but you know, that's something that might or might not happen in the new year. So, what do you think to all those records there? Do you think that there was worth the money? Have any of you had trouble with eBay? I mean, I know I did. I had a really bad lot of trouble with eBay about 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't use them for years. You know, it's only past probably year and a half. I've actually started getting things off eBay again. Yeah, and the other thing was somebody did comment on the Beatles mixes of Free as a Bird and Real Love, and they were saying how much it was for the single. Well, I didn't think I'd paid too much for mine. I think I paid £14 or £14.99. Now, yeah, if I think back to when I used to buy singles when I was a kid, it is a lot. But how much is a single now? If you go I mean, can you still buy singles out of a record shop, brand new singles? I don't know. I think most of it's done through downloads, isn't it now? But to me, it didn't matter because I bought that as a completist for my singles collection, if that makes sense. Yes, I suppose looking at it, it is a lot of money for 2 songs. But you know, it's my money, so I don't really um, see the problem with it. And I know some people who say, well, if you've got the Anthology Volume 4, you don't need it. Yes, I didn't need it. Half the stuff I've got in my room, I don't really need, to be honest, but I want it, which is where the collector comes in. So whatever you're doing, peace, love and happiness. Hopefully next time I do a video, which will probably in a few days, this bloody stupid man flu, excuse me, straight on cue, will have gone because it's draining me. I spent virtually all day yesterday in bed, trying to sweat it out. I was supposed to be going to the Christmas do at the weekend, which looks like I'm not going to be able to now because I don't want to go and give everybody that I work with the flu. So it's going to be lots of hot drinks, sat downstairs with a blanket on me for the next 3 days and trying to sweat this bloody thing out of me. Right, that's enough of that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully I will see you on the next one. If you've liked the video, just give me a thumbs up. That's all I ask. If you're not subscribed, just think about subscribing and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Then you'll get notifications for when I'm doing new videos. And you all know about the hype button now, I should imagine. If you're on your mobile phone and you like it, you can hype the video, and that helps this video get wider publicity through YouTube. I think that's what it does. Right, so until the next time, it's love and peace. Remember, Beetle Dave loves each and every one of you, and so it's over and out from Beetle Dave's The Record Collector HQ for now. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, and enjoy.